Hello, gorgeous woman. I'm so incredibly excited to be here with you this evening or this morning or afternoon, depending on whether you're watching live or replay, and of course, which part of this beautiful world you are tuning from. And the purpose of this live stream is to share with you what I shared with one of my clients that literally wanted to kick her husband in the ball for him wanting sex, and how we have navigated this really challenging waters in the realm of her bedroom intimacy and sexual connection with her husband, and really what you can do if you're dealing with some of very similar challenges. So if you're new to my work, welcome. It's really beautiful to connect with you today. And my name is Dagmar. I am women's leading sexuality expert and pelvic floor specialist. And I help women heal from sexual pain and sexual trauma so they can feel amazing in their body and make love all night long. So this particular client that I want to talk to you about is someone who is really successful, is incredibly intelligent, and of course her what is it called, like her privacy is of course very important, so I'm not gonna say any names, but she's very intelligent, she is very smart, she's actually really successful business. And unfortunately, intimacy with her husband has been struggling for well over 8.5 years at this point. And one of the pieces that was incredibly challenging for her is that anytime her husband like reaches out his hand, maybe like wants to touch her butt or her belly or her chest, she has like this response, like literally like her stomach goes up and she wants to like vomit and literally push her husband away or kick her husband. Now, the biggest struggle with this for almost 8 years for her has been the shame that she felt about loving her husband so much and normally having like really beautiful marriage. But this is where her body and anything related to physical intimacy or sexual intimacy, her body has almost like mind of its own. So with her mind, she loves her husband, she wants to have beautiful marriage, she wants intimacy and connection and love and pleasure and all of that, but her body has mind of its own. And she has been, searching for answers. She has been reading a lot of books, she has worked with sex therapists, she has been in psychotherapy, and still like nothing is making difference to her. And when we actually started working together, one of the first principle I've shared with her that comes from trauma-informed care as it relates to healing sexual challenges, is creating consent with her physiology. Now, what it meant very specifically is that I was guiding her through a process where she had permission to first and foremost feel this stomach going up and this impulse to push away. And instead of being ashamed about it, or instead of creating also mental stories around how, with the fact that she loves her husband so much, she can have such a strong response, removing all of that and being in full consent with exactly what's happening in her body. And then allowing the instinct, allowing this desire or the impulse to push or to like become physically sick to actually take place in her body and in her system. And I cannot tell you how profoundly healing this experience and this permission to feel what's happening in her body has been for her. This permission and this experience and this consent with herself, consent with exactly what's happening in her physiology, allowed her to start untaming some very deep piece of trauma that she has been that she has been through as a young child. And this is the key piece that I want to help you understand. The key piece is that the trauma does not live in the mind. The trauma lives in your primal brain. And the primal brain, or the unconscious, is constantly communicating through your body via sensations, felt sense experience, things that you might feel like the contraction, the expansion, temperature, the desire to push someone away, the desire to kick your husband in his ball, the desire to run away from your marriage. All of these are survival responses in the nervous system. And the real healing, the real alchemical shift does not happen when you try to change your mind around this, or when you try to, uplift your mindset around sex or intimacy or love and connection. A lot of healing can happen there. However, the shift and the real change does not happen unless and until you attend to the body and you actually start to create consent with the instincts and impulses, which is where like this most alchemical trauma resolution work lives. Allow me to repeat that. The healing and the shift, especially if you have very strong bodily based reactions to connection, to intimacy, to sex, to being naked with your partner, whatever the variety is, the real shift does not happen at the level of the mind. The real shift does not even happen at the level of emotion. You can be sad about it, you can be angry about it, you can be ashamed about it, you can feel despair about it, you can go through hopelessness about it, and still it does not shift. The healing happens when you attend to the body, because all those traumatic responses live in the body, they live in the nervous system. And when you start creating consent with what you feel, the sensations, the felt sense experiences, and allow the follow through of the instincts and impulses, this is where you can literally create like this fast track to your healing. Now, speaking of fast track, it's trauma sensitive care is not about creating like this biggest breakthrough of your life. Trauma sensitive care is always based on doability. Yet what I have seen with my client is literally like this inlearned hopelessness that she has been through for well over 8 years, trying to find answers for herself and trying to going from specialist to specialist, reading books, doing tantric practices, working with Jade Egg, working on communication and improving communication with her partner. And still she had this strong body reaction, and no matter what she was doing, it was not going away. And it was not until she actually was invited and had a permission to really sit what was alive in her sensation, what was alive in her nervous system, and was given a chance and was given an exquisite guidance to really move through this instinctual knowing, so that this all traumatic responses can be brought to an end. So the key message that I really want to share with you today is, no matter what you're struggling, no matter what you're going through, no matter how intense your body feels, no matter what reactions your gut might have, or your throat might have, or your vagina might have, or no matter how much your mind is trying to make up story around this, that either your husband is a jerk, or he just let himself go, or you take all this blame and guilt and shame on yourself, the answers don't lie in that. The true healing and the true transformation and the true alchemical shift that you're looking for, so that you and your partner, you and your husband can have the most beautiful, loving, heartfelt, amazing intimacy, actually lives inside of your body. It lives inside of creating consent with what you feel and shifting through some of this instinctual, impulsive knowing that your body is guiding you to. So if this is something that you would love to explore, if this is something that you would like to create for yourself so that your relationship, your marriage, your connection with your partner no longer has to be in struggle will, no longer has to be in this shame and despair and hiding and like this painful cloud that just lifts over your head and you don't know what to do with this. I'm here to share that there is so much that can be done. There can be so much that can be healed. There's so much that can be shifted through, and it's literally one call away. If you want to book in for a discovery call with me, you can do so by either dropping me an emoji in the comments below. You can send me a private message, or you can go straight into my booking page, which is bit.ly/flourishing woman strategy, is bit.ly/flourishing woman strategy. And we can actually book a discovery call so that I can really understand what is happening in you, in your body, in your sexuality, in your relationship with your partner, and really create a process that will actually allow you to heal at the deep core level and ignite connection and deep love and physical intimacy with your husband, physical intimacy with your partner. I'm really excited for what's in front of my client. She has been looking for the answers to solving her intimacy problems and solving the challenges that she's experiencing with her husband for well over 8 years. And now that we have journeyed through like this core shift and started to create more consent, more approval, more allowance, more connection with what is happening for her moment to moment, I know that this is like this foundation of change, the foundation of transformation, from where the desire, from where the arousal, from where the like even like this body tingling and this wanting to connect or wanting to make love or wanting to like be physically intimate really awakens. And it's very simple and it's very healing, and it's like opening up the possibility for deep love and beautiful connection for her and her husband, which is something that both of them secretly were wishing for well over 8 years. So I love creating healing breakthroughs like this, like I have supported my client, and I want you to be the next woman that I have the privilege to create this deep healing shift, so your marriage and your relationship can get out of pain, can get out of struggle, can get out of anxiety, can get out of frustration and maybe constant bickering because the intimacy is not there, and deeply support your body, deeply support what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, and move your body into place of connection, move your body into place of desire to make love and connect and be intimate and experience like some of this most beautiful, like being intimate with your partner is this most beautiful opportunity we as women have on this planet, in this life, in this human experience. That is nothing like that, and I want to help you create that in your relationship. So I'm sending you so much love. Feel free to reach out. Feel free to send me a private message, or you can go straight to my link and book for a discovery call, and know that once again, healing is possible in your body, in your sexuality, no matter what you've been through, no matter what you are currently going through, no matter how much healing you've done, no matter how many books you've read, the healing that you're waiting, the shift that you're praying for is absolutely possible, and it can be just one call away. So have a beautiful rest of your day. I deeply appreciate you being here with me today. I deeply appreciate you, having you in my community. You're amazing, and I cannot wait to connect very, very soon.